Hey everyone, it's Kevin from floopydoodles.com. In this video, I wanted to talk about the Belgian Malinois-Poodle mix, also known as the Malinoodle, or the Maldoodle, or the Malinoodle. I've also just seen them called Malinois doodles. I'm not sure. I don't think there's actually an official name for this mix, unlike, golden doodles and labradoodles, but I sort of like Malinoodle. Doesn't really sound like a dog, but we'll go with that. So, unlike golden doodles and labradoodles, they're super popular. You see them all the time. Where Malinoodles, I don't even know if they exist. So, with any weird doodle breed or any cross, honestly, with poodles or any other dog, in my opinion, the best place to go is to Instagram. And just go ahead and search, hashtag Malinois Poodle Mix, or honestly, Malinoodle. So I went to Instagram. Maybe I'll pull up some stuff here and show you the results. Turns out there is definitely a Belgian Malinois Poodle mix. Instagram shows us that there's a couple of them out there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than a couple. And if they were to mix, what kind of dog would that be? So let's first start with the Belgian Malinois. If you've never seen a Malinois before, they are absolutely beautiful. They're very athletic looking. They sort of look like German Shepherds. I think a lot of the times people mistake them as German Shepherds. I know I do. I have a tough time with Dutch Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, German Shepherds, but turns out one of my neighbors actually fosters Malinois. So he's had a few, and over the past couple of years, I think I'm pretty good at identifying them. Their heads are a little bit different shape, and their bodies are a little bit different shape than a typical German Shepherd. But they're absolutely beautiful dogs. As you can see, they're athletic looking, they're trim, they're kind of pretty lean. I think that's the standard. They're bred for herding, and they actually come from a town in northwestern Belgium called Malines. I don't know how to say it. It's Malines. So that must be where the Malinois comes from. The Malinois is closely related to a few other Belgian herding dogs. These are just as hard to say, in my opinion, as the Malinois. There's a Tervuren, which is Tervuren, and the Laekenois, and the Belgian Shepherd, and then there's another name for that starts with a G that I really just I don't even want to try to pronounce. So the Malinois started off as this livestock herder, cattle, sheep in Belgium. They were bred for a purpose, not necessarily bred for fun. So they're a serious breed, at least from my research that I've kind of, their initial origins, or the people that were breeding them wanted them to be like nose to the grindstone herding dogs. So they need a job. Which makes sense, because when you see those breeds that are, similar to the shepherds, so German Shepherds and cattle dogs, like they don't do well just sitting around. So you'll see a lot of Malinois make their way into like the military and police communities. They have a high work drive. They're obedient if they're trained well. Like they want to have a mission, sort of a job. And so, yeah, just like my neighbor, he was able to train when he was fostering these Malinois, and they were extremely well trained, so much better trained than my dog. And I've had my dog for like 4 years now. So, but that's besides the point. So, just kind of looking over my notes here, they have a smooth, short coat, whereas the poodle has that long, kind of curly, fluffy coat. So when you cross the two, it definitely makes for an interesting mix, which is kind of what we see in a lot of doodle breeds. The Malinois is recognized by the American Kennel Club. They rate them as fairly in the middle with being affectionate with family, good with other dogs, good with children. They don't need to be groomed very often. They're kind of open to strangers. They have a pretty good protective watchdog nature, and they're extremely trainable. So the American Kennel Club on their website ranks them 5 out of 5. Their energy level is pretty high. Okay, so you can't have a Doodle without the Poodle. So the Malinoodle or the Malinois-Poodle mix is a unique mix because you're taking that really athletic, herding Malinois and you're crossing it with an equally athletic water dog or hunting dog, which is the Poodle. So the standard Poodle was bred in Germany, or at least originated in Germany. At least that's what most people can agree on. There's a little bit of some people think that the breed's from elsewhere, but the American Kennel Club and a lot of other kennel clubs tend to agree that the Poodle comes from Germany and started off as a hunting dog, a water dog. So they were excellent retrievers for like waterfowl, especially, in Germany and Europe in the winter, it's cold. So duck hunting and all sorts of hunting required them to jump into some pretty cold water, which is actually why the Poodle has that kind of crazy coat, or the clip that you'll sometimes see. And it's not really for show. It was really meant to help them in the water, help protect and keep them warm while they were out there retrieving game for their owners. So just looking at the different breed traits and characteristics of the Poodle, they're very, very affectionate with their family, especially with children. They're low shedding. They're pretty good with other dogs. Unfortunately, you do have to groom pretty frequently on their hair. They're very playful, very watchful, and they can adapt to a lot of things. And similar to the Malinois, they're very, very trainable. So a good obedience training, they respond well to a good obedience program. So when you mix the Belgian Malinois with the Poodle, I don't have one. I've never met one, but I can just go ahead and assume that these dogs are very smart. They're very easy to train and they respond well to training, but also they're going to be looking for mental stimulation. These are not going to be a couch potato dog that are just going to be hanging out with you. They want to be outside. I mean, you have a hunter from the Poodle crossed with a herder, the Malinois. Both of those activities are pretty high endurance. They're rigorous. So that's bred down, when you mix the two, they're going to want to be outside. They're going to want to go for long walks, runs, hikes, swim, you name it. Coat colors, you get quite a range between the two breeds. You could have black, blue, brindle, brown, cream, liver, white, and possibly even like yellow, red fawn. As to the size, they're going to probably be anywhere from like 40 to 80 pounds, maybe a little bit bigger, especially if it's a standard Poodle crossed with a Malinois. That's about the size that they get, both breeds at least. So I'm not going to discuss if you were to have sort of like a smaller Poodle mixed with a Malinois. I'm not sure if that's possible. I'm sure probably it is. I've seen all sorts of things, all sorts of dog sizes. Common health issues that you might see. They're both pretty healthy dogs. However, hip and elbow dysplasia is common in both breeds. So that might be something to look out for. You definitely want to make sure you have elbow and hip evaluations if you were to get puppies or breed these dogs. Poodles can sometimes have eye issues. So that's something that, hopefully doesn't get passed on, a good responsible breeder is making sure that these dogs are being tested and everything before they're being bred. How long does a Malinoodle live for? Anywhere from 12 to 18 years. I know that's a pretty big range. These are big dogs, so just taking the average between the two. Lastly, I'd love to know what you think about the Malinoodle. I know that a lot of people will contact me when I write posts about these mixes. Usually it's people on the non-poodle side of the things. So in this case, it'd be the Belgian Malinois. Belgian Malinois lovers probably don't want to see their breed get mixed with poodles. But I'm curious, to see what you think about it. If you have a Malinois, or if you have a Malinoodle or know someone that does, put stuff in the comments. I'd love to hear more about it. But thanks for watching.